What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live, powered by BetUS. Forgot my desktop audio was playing, and I was playing a clip from the Minecraft movie. That's what the weird sound was in the intro. Hopefully you guys are having a good Thursday. We got 5 games for picks. We got a conversation about Shaedon Sharpe. That we're going to have on today's stream as well. Hopefully you guys are having a good day out in the good weather here in the Pacific Northwest. I've been enjoying it. What's up, East Metro? Starting off the stream with a question. Says, I've noticed y'all picking up the pace and winning a lot. Do you think the Blazers will still tank or try and make the playoffs this season? The playoffs are, we've been talking about on the postgame, not going to happen for the Blazers. They have a really tough schedule in March, but I think they'll try as long as they can realistically try. Anyway, let's jump into picks. So we only got 5 games. We already picked one in the chat. One game tipped off at 4:10 p.m. We got all the picks in. Chat got their picks in the poll before 4:10 p.m. So we got that game, and then every other game is starting at 5 p.m. or later. And it's a pretty light schedule, so this is going to be a pretty quick stream. I've been kind of all over the place today. Tori, what do you rank the Sharpe dunk all time for the Blazers? Probably a top 10 dunk all time. It's hard without being able to compare it to other ones, but I think you can safely say that's a top 10 dunk all time. Let's take a look at the picks against the spread standings. Chat, you guys continue to lead this thing 4 games up on Crushables. Eric, 5.5 games back. We were close to 500 on Monday. Still, though, 5 games below 500. I think this is like 4 straight or maybe 5 straight episodes where we've been a bit below 500 on the day. So collectively, hopefully we can have an above 500 day because we're due for one. A lot of 4 and 5s there on the screen. A 3 and 6 worst day was from Crushables and 503. And then 4 people above 500. You got Connor and Jackson down there at 5 and 4. Brendan at 5 and 4. That's a third person. And then Javon crushing it at 7 and 2. He's only 6.5 back. He's been doing really, really well lately. So we'll see what shakes out today. It was funny because we had a lot of split votes on Monday. But the records are all pretty much the same, except for Javon. So I thought that was interesting how that worked itself out. Now let's jump into the first game in which we've already picked. We got the Orlando Magic hosting the Golden State Warriors. So with this game, I picked Warriors. A lot of people picked Warriors. Eric picked Warriors. Javon picked Magic. Hello, where is Jackson? That's a great question. Down at the bottom of the standings and not wanting to pick any more games. Yeah, so we got Golden State for literally everybody else except for Jackson, who didn't get his pick in. So maybe we just give him an L on this one. Hopefully he could show up for the next game. It's been a while since we've had somebody not show up, man. We were on a good run there, and then Jackson had to bring that to a halt. Let me turn down the background music a little bit more. All right, so we got Trevin, we got Zach. Looking like picking the Warriors is going to be an L regardless. Yeah, this game has not looked good. Unfortunately, I doubled down on the Warriors, which I shouldn't have, but of course I did. The Warriors down 12. They can still come back. Orlando can get very, very cold, so we'll see. But this might be an island win for Javon. All right. Game number 2, we have the Denver Nuggets on the road as 3-point favorites against the Milwaukee Bucks. Let me pull up the injury report so I can read off the injuries. Shout out to Brendan once again for putting this together. We have out for the Nuggets Deron Holmes, Vlatko Konkar, and Peyton Watson. Out for the Bucks, Liam Robbins, Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton. I cannot go against Denver right now. They are playing too well. But we do got a lot of Bucks. We got Eric, Connor, Zach, Crushables Steven. Denver for Arrow 503 Brendan. All right, and then Trevin going Bucks as well. Javon going Bucks. And chat, it's a split vote on 8 votes. The 9th vote will break the tie. 9th vote will break the tie. The 9th vote is for the Denver Nuggets. So we got, right now, a 7v5 in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Smug says the Bucks are ass. What are y'all doing? I don't know, man. They've been okay lately. They've been okay. And they're at home, so we'll see. All right, game number 3. We got the Dallas Mavericks hosting the Charlotte Hornets. Those records, by the way, not updated. I had to rush these graphics. You got Dallas as a 10-point home favorite. Injuries for this game. Out for the Hornets, Grant Williams, Josh Okogie, Brandon Miller, Trey Mann. Questionable, Daquan Jeffries, Yusuf Nurkic, LaMelo Ball. Is there an update on that? Please let me know. If LaMelo Ball is playing, that's the main guy there, of course. Then out for the Mavericks, Caleb Martin, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, Anthony Davis, and PJ Washington. Ball is always out. Yeah, that's true. And the Hornets suck with or without him. I'm going to take Dallas. We got Hornets for Zach and Crushables. No LaMelo or Nurk. LaMelo and Nurk are out according to Trevin, our insider. Thank you, Trevin. So we got Dallas for Eric, Arrow, Connor, 503 Brendan Steven. Javon went with the Mavs as well. And chat, it looks like, is going to go with the Mavs, about 60% of the vote. So you got Zach and Crushables versus the world here in a 10v2 in favor of the Mavs. All right, game number 4, you got the Phoenix Suns hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. The Suns are 7-point home favorites. The Pelicans will be without DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, and Brandon Boston. All of them are out. And then the Suns will be without Monte Morris and Cody Martin. And then questionable is Bradley Beal. Metro says we're going to lose. Yeah, I don't like picking the Suns here, man. Beal is out according to Arrow. Thank you, Arrow. Beal is out. And the Pelicans, of course, have Zion and CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy and Missy. You know what? I'm going to take the Pels. I'm going to take the Pels in this one. So is Eric. So is Arrow. So is Connor and Steven. We got Pelicans for Trevin. Trev Insider, that's funny. Javon is going to go with the Suns. Man, the Suns have really fallen, haven't they? Yeah, I mean, if they lose this game, the Blazers are 1 game behind them, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Oh, Phoenix Suns. I didn't even see that arrow. Zach, Crushables, 503 Brandon. Okay, cool. Chat is going Pelicans. This might be their double down. It's 77% of the vote. So this is a 7v5 in favor of the Pelicans. All right, in the final game of the day, the Los Angeles Lakers are hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Lakers are 5.5-point home favorites. Out for the Timberwolves, Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert. Questionable is Dante DiVincenzo and Anthony Edwards. Let me know if there's an update on either of those two guys, because Anthony Edwards, obviously, very important piece. For the Lakers, the only player on the injury report is Maxi Kleber. He's going to be out for a while. And chat, there is your poll. All right, we got Lakers for Eric and Connor. And Javon. We got Trevin going Timberwolves. I'm going to go Lakers. We got Minnesota for Aerozak Crushables. .503 Brendan and Steven. And then chat actually wants to make this their double down. They go with the Los Angeles Lakers, a whopping 81% of the vote, making this a 7v5 in favor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, time for double downs. I unfortunately doubled down on the Golden State Warriors. Big time L coming for me there. Chat, double down on the Lakers. Eric also doubled down on his Los Angeles Lakers. We got Connor on the Lakers. Everybody, well, not even everybody going Lakers. The Timberwolves had 7 votes. The Lakers only had 5, but 5 of those votes are double downs for the Lakers. Zach going Timberwolves against the Lakers. It's going to be a very important game, because 503 is also going with the Timberwolves against the Lakers. Trevin unfortunately joined me with this Warriors double down. And so did Steven. Brendan double down on the Dallas Mavericks. Crushables double down on the Phoenix Suns. And Arrow, unfortunately, joined myself, Steven, and Trevin with this Warriors double down. Hopefully they've cut into that deficit. And then Javon is doubling down on the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, so you got 4 on the Lakers, Javon, Chat, Connor, Eric. You got 4 on the Warriors, myself, Trevin, Arrow, Steven. You got 2 on the Timberwolves, Zach and 503. And then you got Crushables by himself on the Suns, Brendan by himself on the Mavericks, and Jackson, I mean, might as well say he's doubling down on Miami because their abbreviation is MIA. Anyway, that concludes Picks Against the Spread. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. All right. So quick little conversation here. That I want to have. Sharpe US. Use promo code YouTube150 if you want in on any of those spread lines. So, Sharpe, of course, yesterday broke out for 36 points, had that massive dunk, that viral dunk, maybe dunk of the year in the NBA. Phenomenal game. Now, I want to go into 2 little nuances that'll really take his game to the next level should he improve upon them. And one of them is going to be pretty obvious. One of them has to do, is a little less obvious. Let's just say that, all right? So, Sharpe's been in the doghouse due to his defense. Ultimately, his defense isn't what's going to determine whether or not he becomes a star. Let's just be honest, right? He's never going to be a star because he's like a two-way defensive game changer. Even if he reached his max potential defensively. He's a wing. He's not a big, right? I mean, yeah, of course he's a better player if he's a better defender, but his top-end outcome is really dependent upon how good of an offensive player and a bucket getter he can become, right? And he's shown flashes of star-level creation. Now, if he was a starter playing 35 minutes a game right now, he'd probably be averaging 20 points per game. You could be talking about him as potentially getting close to being a all-star level offensive talent. However, with him off the bench due to his defense, statistically, it's hard for him to have big games. Now, of course, 36 points yesterday. He shot 26 shots to get it. That's a lot of shots, but he did shoot 50% from the field, which was fine. He got to the line 10 times, so it wasn't a poor efficient night by any means. And on the season, he's averaging 17.3 points per game in 29.6 minutes. If you extrapolate that out to per 36 minutes, he's averaging 21 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 3 assists with 2.3 turnovers. Now, of course, there's many things that could help him become a star. Being better creating for others is something that can take his game to the next level. But ultimately, the two things I'm going to list, I think, are the two most important things for Shaedon Sharpe to work on and improve and continue to develop. Now, I'll start with the more obvious thing, which is, of course, his three-point shot, 32% from three. He's shown that he can make step backs and shots off the move nearly as well as catch and shoot shots, at least in my opinion. I don't know what the numbers are behind that. That's just what it feels like so far this season. He seems somewhat comfortable shooting step backs, like he can make them. At the end of the day, he has to consistently make more shots. And that will help him with his dribble drive game, being able to get to the mid-range. His mid-range shot has looked good so far this year, right? It's just much easier for him to get downhill if defenders really have to respect his three-point shot, and if he can hesitate off that and use the threat of his three-point shot to get defenders out on him so that he can beat them to the rim and then use his explosiveness, right? And I think both of these keys go into him trying to get downhill more often out of ISO situations, off of pick and rolls, and just being able to put pressure on the rim with his athleticism. Him becoming a better three-point shooter helps with that. It's some of the same stuff we talked about with Scoot. Being able to knock down more threes will make it easier for Scoot to beat his initial defender off the dribble. Same thing with Shaedon Sharpe. Being able to knock down threes, being able to work in a hesitation off of that will allow him to get past his initial defender easier and then attack the help side and maybe even make better plays for his teammates if he's able to cleanly beat his primary defender, right? Now, I read a tweet analyzing Shaedon Sharpe that I agreed with, so that's why I'm going to bring it up. It was just a random tweet, but it was talking about the Thompson twins versus Shaedon Sharpe. And the comment was basically, Shaedon Sharpe's first step is not all that quick, and he's super explosive with his leaping ability, but not necessarily with his first step or like blow-by speed. We saw last night him use pace in order to get to the rim, which I think he's becoming better and better at, which is definitely necessary. You don't just need to be like super quick to get to the rim. You can use pace, use your shoulder, right? Get creative to find ways to carve out space, to get shots off from the mid-range and get to the rim. And we saw a couple drives in the second half from Sharpe yesterday that did a really good job of showcasing that. But I think if he's able to become a little bit more quicker with his first step, he would be able to blow by guys consistently. The fact that he's still able to beat guys off the dribble as much as he does without having the quickest first step, and it's not like he's the strongest guy where he's just bullying guys, is really impressive. And I do think he's shifty, sharp with his movements. That definitely helps. But if he could just become a little bit quicker, I think it would become extremely easy for him to get downhill, get to the rim, and use his explosiveness and finish, right? So you couple those two things together, him being a little better three-point shooter where defenders have to respect it a little bit more, and then being a little bit quicker where he's able to blow by guys a little bit easier. That, I think, is the key for Shaedon Sharpe to really fully unlock his scoring potential, because we're seeing step-back mid-ranges. We're seeing, we saw a little Devin Booker-ish pull-up from 10 feet where he raised high above the defense, shot it higher than his normal shooting form is. So starting to sprinkle in some creative stuff in the mid-range and He's finishing much better at the rim this season than he did last season. He's taken a major leap there, finishing some tough finishes too, right? So he has all the pieces of the package. That's why he has such high upside and why people get so excited about Shaedon Sharpe as a scorer. It just comes down to being able to make more threes and then being able to beat his defender more consistently. The threes are a part of that. I think the one thing that maybe might hold him back efficiency-wise or hold him back from reaching his true upside as a scorer is not being able to consistently attack the rim and not being able to consistently make threes. So those are the two most important ingredients. You can let me know if you agree with those being the two most important ingredients, because ultimately the star version of Shaedon Sharpe is somebody that can get 25, 26, 27 points per game. I don't know where his ceiling is as a scorer in that range, but that's the hope, is he can become an efficient scorer on that sort of volume and really lead the Blazers offense. Of course, there's a bunch of little things like making better reads, handling the ball even better. He's made some tremendous strides there in the past couple of years. His rookie year, his handle was really rough, but now he's showing a really sharp handle and being able to like wrap the ball behind his back pretty quickly and some creative stuff off the bounce. So those things, of course, matter. So the two things I listed aren't the only two things for Shaedon Sharpe, right? There's a lot that goes into him maximizing his potential, but I think they are the main two ingredients. Daniel Adams asks, is Sharpe 22 now? No, he is still only 21 years of age. We share the same birthday. So he'll turn 22 when I turn, I don't want to say my age. Not going to say my age. Although some of you probably know it. So, yeah, still 21, so still scratching the surface. And the flashes he's shown are very intriguing. You know, on nights, though, when his three-point shot's not falling, unfortunately, he's had a few of those nights. That's why he's shooting 32% from three on the season. Can he still get downhill? Can he still turn the corner? I think being a little quicker, getting his first step a little quicker would be great for that. And there's some workouts you can do to try and improve that. So that's something that I think he should absolutely work on, especially in the offseason when he's able to be fresh. He's not dealing with the grind of an NBA season. So anyway, that's it for that conversation in the live chat. Let me know what you think. I'll read your comments for about 5 minutes here, and then we're going to wrap up the stream. Like I said, short stream today. Little mini stream for you guys. We'll be live again tomorrow with the postgame show after the Blazers take on the Nets. That postgame show will be going live at about 7 p.m. Pacific because tip-off time is 4:30. The Blazers are on an East Coast road trip right now. Donkey says priority is to get Grant and Ayton out in the offseason and throw in Scoot if you can get anything. What do you mean throw in Scoot? Why are we just trading Scoot for anything? I agree, get rid of Grant. I think Ayton being expiring, right? Like, it's not the end of the world if he comes back. I would like to get rid of him, but it's fine if he's back. Donkey says, if Scoot sweetens the deal. Why are we throwing in Scoot Henderson as a sweetener in a deal? Like, for what? You got to have patience with Scoot. He says, Scoot's been looking better, but I'm not sold yet. Well, you're not supposed to be fully sold on him yet. He's 21, but just because you're not fully sold doesn't mean you give up on him. That's what using him as sweetener suggests, that you're just giving up on him for the hell of it. So I absolutely do not agree with that. Scoot needs to be started next year. He's been shooting the three ball so well. Blazer fan says Scoot, he's shooting 42% from three in 2025. Yeah, absolutely, man. Scoot has shown about as much as I wanted him to show this year to feel confident in his projection long term. He's shooting 37.3% from three right now, which is crazy improvement. He was 32.5% last year, so that's a 5 percentage point improvement. If you said he was going to be shooting 4.3 threes per game in 26 minutes and shooting 37.3% from three before this season, I absolutely would have taken that. I would have said he probably should be playing more minutes. Why is he only playing 26 minutes a game? But I absolutely would have taken that. Absolutely. True shooting percentage, almost 56%. He's having a solid efficiency year in his second year after being brutal his rookie season. His true shooting percentage is up almost 7 percentage points. His defense has been better this year. He's turning over the ball a little bit less. Turnovers per 100 possessions were at 5.9 last year, 4.8 this year. His assists are the same, 9.4 to 9.5. And he's not playing with the ball in his hands as much as maybe he did last year. He's been used off the ball a lot lately, and he's been performing because he's knocking down threes. His shot looks really good. So that was like the biggest question mark about him coming into the league was his three-point shot. He's already showing you that he can be a league average shooter. That's great news. You do not give up on him yet. He still has a ton of time to figure things out. So, yeah. Frito says league average three-point percentage is sub 36 this season, so he's actually an above-average shooter now, which is crazy. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm selling him. I'm even selling him a little bit short with that. On the season, he's been above average, right? And it's funny talking about like conversations a couple weeks ago. People suggest, oh, he's on a hot streak, right? All right, fine. Let's take the whole season into account because he really struggled shooting the ball the first month or so of the season. Even with his struggles at the start of the season, he's still an above average three-point shooter this entire season, like on average this season. So absolutely we'll take that. I mean, just imagine if he takes a similar jump next year. Next year he might be a borderline star if he takes a similar jump as he did this year. That's how much he improved this year. And if his role improves and maybe they have a new coach, you could just see some natural improvement as well. So anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with us on the second channel here today. We'll be live again tomorrow night. If you just tuned in, we just had a conversation about the next steps for Shaedon Sharpe becoming a superstar. So you can rewind the stream, you can watch that back, and then let me know your thoughts in the comment section after the stream is done. What's up, Pete Town Made? Good to see you here at the end. Scoot has that game takeover aura too. Would love to see heavier minutes. Yeah, he's been streaky in a good way where he hasn't had like multiple games in a row where he's shot bad, but he has stretches where he'll start to make multiple threes in a row, which is really fun, which is really good. So get him more spacing, give him another year or two to continue to improve, get him better coaching. That should absolutely be the plan for Scoot. Not to include him in a trade as sweetener or just trade him for anything. So anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the stream. If you want on any spread lines for games tipping off today or tomorrow or over the weekend, use promo code YouTube150. And we're out of here. See you guys tomorrow night with the post-game show. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers!